Here we go. We got up this morning and my son-in-law and them had some things to do, so we decided to critique our day a little bit. I had to plant some plants. Son-in-law spent quite a bit of money on some veggies and some tomatoes, and we did too. So they really needed to get into the ground. So, and we were supposed to have a storm today, which it didn't do that. It just forgot. Anyway, we got up this morning about 8 o'clock, and we got out there, and son-in-law tilled our little garden plots. I know I sent a picture up. My youngest grandson wanted to make corn. He wanted seeds. Even though we bought a couple of corns, he's like, no, you have to do it with seeds, Mamie. So we bought corn seeds, and we planted corn. And my middle grandson wanted watermelon and tomatoes, and so we planted tons of tomatoes, a couple of watermelons. My daughter's going to get some cantaloupe, and we've got some bell peppers and some tomato pepper or banana peppers, bell peppers, banana peppers, squash, eggplant, zucchini. So we'll be eating good all summer long. So we got it in the garden, yay! And also Pops and I decided to plant some roses out along the fence to make it look a little bit better. So we planted roses and gladiolas for my grandson. My middle grandson is in love with gladiolas. He thinks they're beautiful. So we planted some so that he can see them pop up and have them in his yard. Anyway, that's why we didn't do it this morning. So I'm taking a break. I actually had to go inside, eat something, and I stunk. It was bad. So had to take a shower, wash my hair. Got it cut yesterday. Thanks, Rachel. It looks great. So that's what I'm doing. So today there's a new stamp out. It's from Frenchie's Stamps, or she had her $1 million win or $1 million sales, and she got to select a stamp. So it's this one. I'm going to try to incorporate this with the mountain scenes that we have with our mountain air. It's Father's Day, so we need some masculine stuff going on. So I'm thinking about doing this for a Father's Day card, and just see what it looks like. I don't know if it's going to come out right. I've got some blending brushes, and we're going to wing it with these stamps and the mountain air and see what we get. So here we go. Let me give you to my screen, and we'll see how it goes. All right, I've got my screen out. I got everything that I should need. I'm going to turn the light on so you get a little more light. It's kind of shaded. So I have got some Memento ink for our mountains. I have my blender brush. I've got a couple more over here if we need them. I'm going to use Pacific Point and Balmy Blue for our water. I'm going to use Garden Green for our trees because, it's deep, rich color. And then I have, for our sun and our light, I'm going to use So Saffron and Mango Melody for the sunshine. And the Balmy Blue and the Pacific Point will also be used in the sky. I think it'll work well. And then we're going to use this here, this little, probably one of these two clouds. I think I put this one out, and we'll stamp it a few different times, maybe even this one. And I want to try to incorporate this sun ray. I may not get the sun ray in there. I'm not sure how it's going to look, but we're going to just try, and then we're going to layer it up and make a card. You're going to need your stamp apparatus for this. First thing you need to do, though, is actually cut out your mountains. You don't need to stamp them. You just need to have the die cut of your mountains, which I usually have some in here, and right now I don't. So I'm going to take my, what do we call it? Masking tape that I keep, and I'm looking for. It's usually sitting right here. It's from, I buy it from Amazon. Everything's in Amazon these days. And it's just a great little pack of masking tape. And it's perfect. I love it. But of course it's not sitting right where I want it right now, of course. Let's see. We have somebody watching. So, if you're watching, share the video. Those who share the video this month or this week, I'm going to put you in for another drawing. Sherry won last week for some Pansy Petal DSB. I will be putting it out into the mail on Tuesday. I forgot they're going to be closed Monday, and I didn't get to them today. Let's see. Let's get this up here so I can see comments. And then I'm going to go cut out some mountains. Hi, Tina. Hope you're doing well. All right, go cut out my mountains. Just that way we can have it. And I've got to find it. It's never where you want it when you want it, is it? Ever. Never, ever, ever. Because you don't need it, and then you put it away, and then it's gone. So I guess what we're going to do is we're just going to cut out a piece of white paper. I use some scraps that I have, because I have tons of scraps. Don't know about you. Just a simple scrap, and we're going to trim this out. I don't know where my little pieces are. They have disappeared. Alright, get me a little scrap here and we'll be good to go. Okay. Got my scrap. You can stamp your mountains if you want and then cut them out so that you know what they are. We'll see. So I'm going to use my Stamparatus for a lot of this. Ooh, that's pretty dirty. I might change the plate here. I have a couple of plates, which is the nice thing about Stampin' Up. I bought extra plates. So we've got our Stamparatus all set up, and I need some feet. Know where to get some feet, guys? Need some new feet. Get these stamps out of my way. And I'm starting with my base. It is going to be 5 1/4 by 4, and that's what we're going to use to make our card. And we're going to start with just doing some blending. So I'm going to kind of put some adhesive on the back of this, just lightly tack it down so that we don't lose this, since I can't find my wonderful masking tape that I've so diligently purchased. I'm going to put this probably about an inch down from the top. And we're going to go just like that, so it kind of gives us, and this is also, just so you know, this paper is the shimmer white cardstock that I'm using. I'm going to take my blending brush, and we're going to go get some Balmy Blue out. This is how we're going to start. We're going to Balmy Blue on the bottom and the top of this. Now remember, when you use these, you need to start off and then come in. And this is just going to give us some color, so we can get some sky going on. So notice I'm starting off the paper that we're using, and then coming back in. And I got a little extra right there. That's not good. So we're going to have to blend that out, but it's fine. We'll blend it out, and we'll make it look right. So we've got our Balmy Blue on there, on just the top. And you don't need a lot in the middle. And I'm going to do the same thing down here on the bottom. And you really don't need to worry about much here, because this is going to be filled in with trees. And I'm just trying to give a little color. I'm not looking for a lot of color down here. This is going to be water. I may even go in and pull out our lighthouse. I think it's called High Tide, and pull that out for the water. The water detail that stamp set has is just really beautiful. Okay, so that's enough of the Balmy Blue. Now I'm going to take Pacific Point, and I'm going to put this really just strictly on the ends. And I can use the same brush because it's a lighter color than what's going in here. So I'm going to tap, 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 and come off, and then just mainly go in my edges. I just want to go in the edges just a little bit. I don't want a whole lot on the deep insides here. I just want it shaded. So tap, 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 and come in this way. So you get just that dark halo around here. Now we have a lot here, but that'll be okay because I'll put my sun over here, so it'll be kind of shaded. It'll be alright. We'll make it work. And I'm just keeping it to the top. I'm going to do the same thing here on the bottom. Tap, 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 and just bring it in from the edges. And the thing with the blending brushes is it keeps you from getting a lot of color, and you think you're not getting any. So really pay attention to that, because looky here how much blue I have already on that. I know I've got so much light right in here right now, it kind of washes it out, but there is a lot of blue on there. So remember, if you share the live today, I will put you in for a drawing to win some DSP. We've got a lot of new designer series papers coming out, and I gave away some pansy petal paper, and it'll be mailed out on Tuesday to Sherry. All right, we're done with this one. We'll put this to the side, and we're not going to worry about anything else right now with the Balmy Blue and the Pacific Point. I'm going to bring in my Mango Melody and my So Saffron, and I'm going to bring in a clean brush, or you could use a sponge for this because it's going to be really directly to a point. And I think I'll bring in a sponge. Just need to get one. I have lots of little sponges everywhere. They're all clean, but they don't look clean. But they're clean, I promise. See? Nothing on this one, so we're good. So I'm going to take the So Saffron first, and I'm literally going to just take a bit of it, and I'm going to come in right here to this spot. It's where I want my sun. And I'm just going to dab, dab, dab around where I want it to be. Kind of giving it a halo effect. And it gives it a little bit of a spotty look sometimes, but that's why you kind of want to go off. And then come back in here. So it kind of gives it that halo. And you're going to go over your little mountains, and that's okay because that's going to be removed. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the Mango Melody. And I can use again because it's a darker color, and I use the lighter one. I'm going to use just another side, and I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to make it even brighter and another halo around it, so it's a little bit brighter all the way around with this Mango Melody. I love this color, and it's really beautiful for the sun, you know, because it's going to make it look really nice and bright. There we go. I like that. And then I'm going to take, in our stamp set, here, we have our moon. I'm going to use this little guy on the back side of it. I'm going to be doing I don't even know if you can see me, but I'm going to be using this guy right here. And we're going to put in our moon. Well, it's not a moon. We're going to make it a sun. So it's actually the moon stamp, but you're going to use the other side so it's solid. And I'm going to use this block because I like it better for this. And I'm going to use the So Saffron. Just stamp it in pretty good. And I'm going to stamp off a little bit, make sure it's good. And I'm going to come right here and just stamp it down. I probably should have put a block underneath this because it's a polymer. And polymer stamps do much better when they're with a block underneath it. It lets it get a little sponge to that. And let's see. Let me see if I have one right here. We're going to put this underneath this. I think it'll look better and give it an extra little stamp. That way you can really see it. There we go. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this off of here, move the stamp. So we don't need it again. I'm going to put this back here so we can use this later. Now I'm trying to figure out how I want to do these sun rays. I mean, this is beautiful and it will probably work, and that's where I'm not so sure I want to use this sun ray. So I'm going to stamp and see how it looks. I'm going to do it in the So Saffron. Let's see how that looks. It kind of gives you the rays. So I'm not quite sure what I think about that. Let's do a stamp of this sun and on the scratch paper and see what we get, because I'm not sure I'm going to like it. There's the sun. Let's take a little of this. And just, I mean, it looks good. What do you think? I mean, Tina, do you think that looks good? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it's going to look. Coming right from there, I mean, we could move it further in so that it just, I don't know. Not sure how I think about that. What you think, Tina? I mean, we could have it going this way from there, and it would put the whole sunshine down the water, but I'm not sure I want to play with that today. So I think I'm going to leave this off for now. Maybe I'll take another one and try it later, but I'm not so crazy about it either. But we are going to use the clouds that are in that set. I like them. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to have to put this on our Stamparatus, and we're going to need to stamp our mountains and our trees. Okay, and I'm going to use my foam in the Stamparatus because it is a polymer, and using polymers, you really need to have that extra foam on there so that you can actually get a good image. Just going to put that on there, and you're going to start with your mountain image first. Alright, we're going to use the mountain here. We're going to take this off. Just if you get any of the adhesive on your mountain, see how we've got this beautiful crisp mountain scene? We're going to just slide this right here where it belongs in this picture. So it gives you a perfect spot. We're going to stamp this on here so that it stays. And we're not moving this because we've just made sure our mountains match here, even though it's crooked. It's okay. So I'm going to get the Memento out. Is what I'm going to use for my my mountains here. We're going to stamp them up with some Memento ink. And we're just going to stamp them down right here. And I'm going to put enough good pressure that we should only have to do this once. And there we go. And now see, I could have moved it up just a little bit because I got just a little hair there, but that's okay. We can put more ink in there and blend that out. Now do not clean this off because we're going to use the second generation stamped image for the water, for the reflection. But we're going to come in here and we're going to put our trees in first. So I've got our trees. We've got it with the side down that has the texture. And we're just going to kind of make these little trees go like this. And, you know, since we live in the mountains, it's perfect. And I'm going to let this come up. And I'm going to cover my black so I don't have it all over me because we are supposed to go out tonight. And we're going to use Garden Green, which I got out. Here it is. All right. Alright, I'm going to inked up, I'm going to use Garden Green. I've got it all inked up now on my trees, and I'm going to place those right on top. And there's our trees! Yay! And again, do not remove the ink from that. What we're going to do with this, and it sounds crazy, but I'm going to take this and I'm going to reverse it. Just like this, so that you can see that reverse in that water. And I'm going to lay it just like that, and we're going to stamp it. That way you didn't have to put more ink on it, and you're still going to get that beautiful image. See? And we're going to do the same thing with our mountains. We need to keep this there. And remember, we didn't take the mountains off or clean it, so therefore we should be able to do the same thing. Try not to touch except where I want it to go. I need it to be right here. So we have a bit of our mountains as a reflection in our water. There we go. Actually, I'm going to do this just a little bit more. There we go. And that was a little too much. I should have just left it alone. But you want it soft and beautiful. Okay, so there we go. And you see in this card, it kind of looks kind of wonky because I messed it up. But that's okay. I'm going to take this off. And we're going to do some of this water now. I'm going to go ahead and get the High Tide stamp set because I really like that water in there. That's sailing home. Where's my High Tide? I don't know if it's still current or if it's going out. It's not right here. Here it is. Here's our High Tide. It's still in my pile, so I'm hoping it's still in current. But we're going to use this water piece right here. And I'm going to cover up my green ink because I don't want it all over me. And I'm going to use another black. Here we go. And I'm going to use Balmy Blue. Yeah, we're going to bring that Balmy Blue right back. And because it's polymer, I need my foam underneath it again, even though I don't need my Stamparatus. Stamp, stamp, stamp. I'm going to stamp off. And then I'm just going to go right over these trees. And these leaves, you go right over everything. It should work out just fine because, you know, it is water. There we go. Nice, beautiful little waterfront. And now I want to put these clouds in here. So we have another cloud that's in this set too. Here it is. And the way I've seen them done, just to make them stand out, they are also done back in their Balmy Blue, but in order to keep it so that it stands out, but it's not stand out too much. See, that one's just way too much. So I think we need to stick with maybe one, maybe two, or half and one. So we're going to do this in Versamark. Let me get my Versamark out here. Not quite sure what I was going to do today, but you know, we got Versamark, and we're going to use some clear embossing powder to make it have that, here we go, clear effect, but yet it'll still be Balmy Blue, but it'll be soft. So we're going to take our Balmy Blue, as soon as I find the hidden pile of Balmy Blue that it's in. Here we go. It's the problem with working with a small space. Balmy Blue, stamp it off, and we're going to put one here. And this is where the Stamparatus would have came in great, but I don't have it up. And I like it like that, and maybe just a hint over here. And I didn't stamp it off, so it's darker. So now what we're going to do is kind of wipe that off, come into our Versamark, and we're just going to come over here and stamp over that, and stamp over this one. And then we will take, where is my cover? We can move this out of the way. And cover this up, and take some paper underneath me, because you know we're gonna have to make sure this gets back in the box. Take some of our clear, there we go, and put this back in our bottle. Got to keep that in there because you know you need to have this. And now I'm going to turn on the heat gun and let it heat for a second, and it's going to get kind of loud. And I know it looks like it could almost be done, but the details make this so beautiful. And we're just going to heat this up. Alright, should be nice and heated. See how it's just kind of soft? It's not really a bright cloud. I mean, I think we could stand to have another, but I'm just going to let it be. Maybe, no, let's put another one in. We're just going to use the Versamark and a touch of the Balmy Blue again. Balmy Blue, stamp it off. I have to tell myself this, you know. And we're going to come up Let's kind of make it go into the sun just a hair. Like this. I mean, technically, before I put it down, I could have done it Versamark or this and then right straight into the Versamark before I actually stamped. And then right over it. There we go. And because I didn't do the Stamparatus, that gave me that shady look, which is okay. It's not the worst, but it's not the best either. So, you know, I may have to make another one just to see how it comes out. But it is the mountains, and if you ain't got your glasses on that day, it could be exactly what I see on a normal basis without my glasses. Alright, gonna heat this up one more time just so we can see how that cloud looks. There we go. It gives it a little hue. I like it. I think it looks great. Like maybe there's going to be some stormy clouds. But then we're going to take a blending brush. I've got my blending brush here. And I don't like the mountains like this. So I'm going to blend them in with this. Take this black and just blend it in here for the mountains. Because, you know, they're so white. I mean, you don't want them to be white. Be very careful not to put your green or you'll have green mountains. So I'm just blending in this memento a little bit so we've got those mountains covered. And I'm covering all this white spots. I mean, all of them. And I will show you. And you can even come in here where I've got this little halo effect. And, you know, we live in the Smoky Mountains, so this gives us a nice little Smoky Mountain effect to have that shadow there. And that's all I'm doing, just using that blending pen. This blending pen is like the bomb. I love it. And you can clean it off so simply. It's great. And yes, it looks like we need a shoreline, and we'll fix that, I promise. Make sure we get those little edges. We're going to come over here and get these edges. So we get that smoky hue to our mountains. Okay, and we're going to clean this off a little bit. And what we're going to do is I'm making sure I still have blending in there. Fill this in a little more. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to clean that off, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to blend in these colors here to give myself a shoreline. And I also haven't, there was another stamp that was in one of our other watercolors that would be great to add as a shoreline. I've also been known to take, let's see what we got here. In this one. None of these seem to really, well, this one will work. This kind of looks like sand or shoreline, and we can use this one in a few other colors. But I'm going to stick kind of with my garden green. It's what I like about it being here. Everything's so lush and beautiful right now. So I'm going to stamp off. I'm going to come in here where this line should be. Stamp off, and I'm just going to come across, and that way I'm not using a million different sets, but it also fills in this white area and gives you kind of like a shoreline. And you can just go in and stamp and fill to your little heart's content with that one. And I just used this out of the High Tide stamp set. And then come back in with your blending brush and you can blend that in so you have no white showing, and it makes it just look gorgeous. All right, now for the last little piece. I know, crazy, huh? Not this set. It's in the mountain set. We're going to use these beautiful trees. Now, my trees, I use StazOn on them because I was doing a really beautiful winter scene with my trees, and it came out gorgeous. It's another one I had done at one time, and I'm going to use the same ink, and I'm going to get a scratch paper because if not, I will have ink all over everything. And we're going to rotate between stamps. Now, we could get a different color. Let's go with some Old Olive for alternating colors. So we're going to get our ink up. We're using Garden Green. And I'm going to stamp. And we're going to go at different heights. And you do like 3. And you could put them all across. You could cover the whole thing, but it kind of looks like you're looking at it in a distance. So now I'm going to take the other one, this other little guy here, and I'm looking mainly for just some of this tip stuff here, and I'm going to do it in Old Olive. Thank you, Tina. I'm going to stamp it off, though, and I'm just going to come in and do, just so you see a tip of this other color in there. Stamp off. That way you get other variations of colors in here. There we go. And that should be it. Now you could take this, and we can mat it up on the back of some black, basic black cardstock. Or you could cut it up. My whole thought process when I decided to do this was I really wanted this in the background, but I just didn't think it was going to look good. But you could take this and cut it into snippets and make it like inchies as a scene. You could leave it just like this. I actually think my mountains should be a little stamped better, but it's because I did my blending. But I still think it came out great. And we could do more, and I'll probably go in and do another one and show you the final results of how it comes out in a blog post. I hope you enjoyed it today, and again, if you see the video, you share it, and get somebody to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which would be awesome. I'm going to start giving away some more paper. We've got lots of pretty paper right now, and it's just pretty. So y'all have a great day. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my weekend. We're going to go get some barbecue and have a beer in downtown Statesville. So y'all have a wonderful night, and God bless. Enjoy your Memorial Day. Remember what it's for. Bye, guys.